is in the mother building. Oh yeah, I'm a little late. Yes, indeed. See, this is what happened. You cannot sit up and watch Lucifer all day and all night and fall asleep on the couch and your spouse just leaves you there. Ain't that some shit? Yeah. So I'm just waiting. I'm just a little late this morning. I'm still recovering from Sunday night, believe it or not, because if you stay up late, like I did, watching the football game and your body ain't used to it, it takes a couple of days for it to just, get back in the rhythm. So it is what it is. Good morning, everybody. It's a Tuesday. It's the Wake and Bake Show. I'm your host, Miss Green Jeans. Yeah, y'all think y'all getting away with something today, don't you? No, y'all ain't getting away with jack. We gonna get the Lily dance in today and everything. We gonna talk about some articles that I didn't get to yesterday. With so much going on out there, and my head was in so many different places. But I'm gonna make sure I cover everything with y'all today that I could cover in that short hour time period. Are you ready? I know I am. Let's get this party started, shall we?
We gonna start this thing alright. Groove all in the money logging out. Come on, come on. Do it, baby, take it, baby. Do it, baby, take it, baby. Do it, baby, take it, baby. Do it, baby. I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now. I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now. I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now. I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now.
You got a lot to be smiling for. So what the f you be wildin' for? Come on, I get my grin on. I'm smiling, bitch, cause I always get my win on. I've been on so many different stages, graced the cover of 100 magazine pages, made people smile everywhere that I went. I even put it on the first black president. It's evident I'm hot as a crock pot, with a big ass smile like Mr. Hot Spot. You got a lot to be smiling for. So what the f you be wildin' for? If you're breathing, you achieving. We having fun this evening, believe it.
I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now. I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now. I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now. I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now.
Put your middle fingers up in the air and show a hater you don't even much care. We finna get another bag this year. My ex, you can have that there. Hey, this year, bad vibes get cut off. More trips, new chicks with no draws. More drinks, more smoking, more cars. More shows with Duval and Snoop Dogg. Look, I ain't tryna throw no shade, cause I can't see them in my lane. As long as my rent getting paid, I can care less with a big thing, huh? You in the club every night with no job, eating good off your food stamp card. You made a killing last year off fraud. If you know you ain't going to work tomorrow,
I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now. I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now. I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now. I'm living my best life. Ain't going back and forth with you now.
You got a lot to be smiling for. So what the f you be wildin' for? If you're breathing, you achieving. We having fun this evening, believe it.
And we're back. Y'all got one more to go. You think I'm gonna let you off easy? No. We got to get that Lily dance in. Y'all know how we do. So let's go ahead and get it in. And I got a story that's you're gonna need that doggone blunt or whatever after this one. Trust me.
Eye Joe, I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe? But I've been Cotton Eye Joe, I've been married a long time ago. Where did you come from? Where did you go? Where did you come from, Cotton Eye Joe?
And we're back. That's your Lily Dance for this week. Y'all get it in the Cotton Eye Joe. Now, why it did that, I don't know. It's going to be one of those mornings. This thing got a mind of its own. So let's go ahead and continue doing what we got to do best. Hicks column. It's time to legalize medical marijuana. This time could be the year. This story comes from the Post and Courier.com. When I finish this story, because I read through some of it already, and I'm a little heated, I'm going to go ahead and give you the story, and then I'm going to go ahead and give you the history behind the bullshit. As the title of the show said today, stop playing. If anyone had predicted South Carolina might legalize medical marijuana a few years back, you would have swore they were smoking something, but it could happen. Last week, Buford Senator Tom Davis introduced the Compassionate Care Act in the state Senate, and Charleston Representative Peter McCoy is following suit in the House. Davis is the perfect leader for this effort. In 2014, he led the successful campaign to legalize cannabinoid, a non-psychiatric pot oil extract, as a treatment for people with severe epilepsy. Now, this might scare some folks under the influence of reefer madness propaganda, but don't show the majority of South Carolina supporting legal medical marijuana. But the polls show, the majority of South Carolinians support legalized medical marijuana, and it's about time. Right now, 33 states and the District of Columbia allow doctors to prescribe the marijuana to patients suffering from Parkinson's, PTSD, or glaucoma, as well as people enduring chemotherapy. This isn't a radical ideal. The National Academy of Sciences found conclusion evidence that marijuana is an effective treatment for chronic pain in adults. Chemotherapy-induced nausea and vomiting and multiple sclerosis spastic symptoms, and is certainly less dangerous than opioids. But Davis has spent the last 4 years educating his own colleagues, and this is a bipartisan effort. Both Davis and McCoy are Republicans, so lawmakers predict this is the year legislature might make it legal to prescribe pot. Assuming law enforcement and social conservatives don't raise a stink again. Right. But let me continue, because I'm going to cover each step in this story, because I'm going to bring you back to all of it this morning. I ain't missing that one iota. A conservative law. The Charleston County Republican Party recently passed a resolution supporting the Compassionate Care Act, which McCoy says is a good sign that the issue has momentum and growing in public support. Of course, it wasn't a unanimous vote. Some people still fear medical marijuana is a slippery slope towards recreational pot smoking, and one person last would suggest it would encourage the Democrats to move here. I have to pause on that one. Which is just silly. The Democrat has already moved to Colorado. Yeah, and I shall continue. Davis correctly pointed out there's no way South Carolina will ever completely green light ganja, or his bill make darn sure of it. It includes so many regulations and restrictions that the legislation is longer and more expected than a contract of buying a new car. That is by design. He tried to address every concern that he could come up with for the past 4 years. I put a lot of safeguards in that other states don't have because South Carolina is more socially conservative. This is not California or Colorado bill. He's right. The Compassionate Care Act would even prohibit up to smoking a bowl. Patients would have to use pot as an oil or a salve and ingest it. That's because law enforcement didn't like the idea of people sitting around burning one, no matter what the reason. The bill has already established criminal penalties for 5 years in prison for anyone caught using medical marijuana without a prescription. This is a no-brainer, Davis says, and the ideal appeal to Republicans is simply keeping the government out of people's lives, allowing doctors to prescribe the treatment what's best for their patients. Exactly a libertarian, not libertine. Helpful but not harmful. According to the State Department of Health and Environmental Control, about 77 South Carolinians is diagnosed with some form of cancer every day. Most people are forced to endure invasive chemotherapy, which leaves them nauseated, tired, anemic, and suffering from nerve damage. And one story after another shows that marijuana helps relieve these symptoms. That's why State Representative Lynn Bennett, an ardent conservative, has supported the efforts to legalize medical marijuana for years. Or legal cannabis. I'm going to put cannabis in the word because I don't like using marijuana. It's not a miracle drug, but it's a helpful drug, Bennett says, and she knows marijuana is a natural substitute that grows from the earth, unlike most prescribed painkillers, which is chemically compound, made in labs, and often addictive and obstructive. She is absolutely correct. But this is a common sense solution. The only way it gets derailed if the ill-informed push try stereotyping. So let's clear a few things up. This is about medicine and not morality. There aren't going to be any pot dispensaries on every corner, and marijuana is not a gateway drug to anything but maybe some Doritos. The legislation has an opportunity here to do something that will make people's lives better and easier their suffering with other folks. Anyone who tries to stop them is in the real dope. Well, this is my response to you, Brian Hicks, and everything else. First of all, you're a journalist. You should get your facts straight. This is not the first medical marijuana bill that's here in the state of South Carolina. Go back to 1980, the Therapeutic Act of South Carolina, which has medical cannabis that has been signed for the governor, that has been on the books 37 years, going into his 38th year this year. Now, with that being said, this is the most restrictive piece of legislation yet, as far as cannabis is concerned. It is going to limit it how you can use your cannabis, who sells you your cannabis, and you're right, they're going to block the hell out of recreational cannabis. I can't, in fair judgment, and please understand this, let me put my microphone away for a second. let me put my badge for a second as an activist away, and let me put it as a patient, okay? Because I am a patient as well as an activist and an advocate. So, and being a patient, being one that is waiting on disability, knowing the average monthly pay for some people with disability starts at $750 and maybe go up to $1,500 in this state. You want people to go out and buy liquid form of cannabis. Right. That's the biggest ripped-off. This is a money grab, ladies and gentlemen. Let me break it down to you. Have you priced a vape pen? Just for a second. I've been told it was sold for $25, but I've yet to see one. The average cost of those vape capsules, and this is on the black market, I don't know what they are as of now on the medical side. If somebody can call me and give me details, I'm quite sure it's probably the same price, if not higher. Anywhere from $60 to $80. And that's for so many milligrams. Now, depending on where your pain level is at, you're going to be in a world of hurt. And you're going to constantly buy those little things. Then they got it where you can buy medibles or edibles. Okay, sure, that's not a problem. But what cancer patient needs all that sugar? And anybody thought about that one? Yeah. Shall I continue? Now, what I also didn't read in the bill, let me break that bill down to you some more. They're going to tell you, the people here in South Carolina, how many dispensaries and how many grow facilities you can have. Now, I'm not playing advocate or anything else like that. I'm just speaking facts as a patient. Forget Miss Green Jeans, the activist. Forget Miss Rosemary, the activist for Minorities for Medical Marijuana. Listen to Rosemary as the patient. You telling me that throughout the whole state, for every I think it's every 5, don't quote me because I got a lot of crap that I have to read during the day, so if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be for every 5 drugstores they have, you have 1 dispensary, 5 for 1. Now you tell me how's that fair? It's going to be certain areas that have more than others, and it's bad enough you got people driving up and down the road as it is. I don't hear no plans for a delivery service. I don't hear no plans for reducing the rate of this. I don't hear no plan for possibly free for veterans, because damn sure don't. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of them that damn sure can't afford to buy these cards or this medication. And remember, this is Rosemary the patient talking. I'm looking at this as a patient point of view. A lot of people say I've been very harsh on this plan. You damn skippy, because I talk to these people each and every day. I have a veteran friend that's very close to me. He spends $550 on cancer medication. So how in the hell he gonna afford to pay for something else on top of that cancer medicine until he gets his cannabinoid system right? Because you start using medical cannabis just don't happen right away. It has to build up in your system just like anything else. Sure, some of the relief is immediate, but it builds up in your system as a time, because it don't leave. It sticks to your fat cells. So, once again, how is this going to be possible for the person that's disabled? I'd like to know that. How is it going to be accessible for the veteran? What kind of things are put in place for that? Oh, you can hurry up and brag and talk about how much time somebody can get. 5 years? 5 years? You hurry up and put that in the picture, but no other things that's ain't a damn thing compassionate about this bill. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. I have to support it though, and that's what the thing. And here I'm finna put my advocate hat and my media hat back on. It's kind of hard as a patient and an advocate and an activist to support some things when you know they're wrong. Because anytime that you add any ingredients to something that don't need nothing added to it, that's a problem. Do you know you have to add glycerin to those vapes? Look up glycerin. Some people are allergic to that. Some people are even allergic to cannabis. But I'm going to be honest with you. I want mine pure. I want mine unadulterated. I want the whole plant. I don't want you to do a damn thing to it. Let me do what I need to do. If I need to juice, let me juice. And I can't juice with this. I'm supposed to expect to trust somebody on this. I'm sorry, my phone just keeps going off. I just supposed to accept, okay, well, A, B, and C is recommended by the state to grow your cannabis. I've shared stories in the past where pesticides were used in cannabis. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm just looking out for our safety. And I'm going to keep sounding the alarm anytime they bring some bullshit like this on the forefront. Because you got to know your history. And I'm going to be honest with you. This Compassionate Care Act bill needs to fail. Because if this bill is passed, you damn Skippy, it's going to take an act of Congress to unchange some of the things that they have in this bill. This bill is not written for minorities at all. It's not. Because if you're going to limit the growth, that means you got some things already in plan that they ain't talking about. Because if you were right about this plan, Senator Davis, I've been in this kick for a long while. It ain't like Rosemary just jumped up. If there was any compassion, why didn't it talk to more patients than just a few? I didn't see not one person of color that you talked to about this. Not one. So I have to ask these questions. How compassionate is this bill? The bill number is S366. You read it for yourself. I'm gonna have to support a bill somehow, some way. But I'm gonna tell you like this here. This is one bill that don't have the seal of approval.
Church. Sometimes I get stoned in my backyard, lay off in the tall grass so my view is the stars. I think about nothing, get to clear my thoughts from all the thunder and lightning, so I feel a spark. Sometimes I get higher than the Colorado Rockies, hoping that the county sheriff don't stop me. Like Charlie Daniels said, you shouldn't smoke at dough, but damn it, I can't help, I love Rolling Stone. With the windows rolled down and the radio up, sweet tea full in my solo cup, listening to the humming of the 44, sounding like a concert. I'm a beat up door, arm hanging out the window, smiling away, smoking on some ground where the cattle graze. Charlie Daniels said you shouldn't go smoke at dough. Hell, I can't help, I love Rolling Stone. Yeah, I love Rolling Stone. Smoke rolling round the cab with the dome light on, looking like a stage for a Leonard Skinner song. Hanging out with Mary Jane, but she's making the time go slow. Making memories with my buddies through the thick green smoke, puff passing out the windows of my old Tahoe. Lifted so damn high, I can't come down, driving under the speed limit in my town. With the windows rolled down and the radio up, sweet tea full in my solo cup, listening to the humming of the 44, sounding like a concert. I'm a beat up door, arm hanging out the window, smiling away, smoking on some ground where the cattle graze. Charlie Daniels said you shouldn't go smoke at dough. Hell, I can't help, I love Rolling Stone. Yeah, I love Rolling Stone. There ain't nothing like the swaying of a windy back road, baked out like a barn full of tobacco. I know Jesus drank wine, but I bet he wouldn't mind sitting with me in my
my Chevy passing around a few times with the windows rolled down, the radio up, sweet tea full in our solo cups, listening to the humming of the 44s like a concert out my beat up door. Arm hanging out the window, smiling away, smoking on some ground where the cattle graze. Oh, Willie said there's not nothing wrong with smoking dope. So light one up and let's go Rolling Stone. So pass me that and let's start Rolling Stone.
They wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. Yeah. I've been moving calm, don't start no trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m. to cuddle with me. You know how I like it when you loving on me. I don't wanna die for them to miss me. Yes, I see the things that they wishing on me. Hope I got some brothers that outlive me. They gon' tell the story was different with me. God's plan, God's plan. I hold back, sometimes I won't. Yeah. I feel good, sometimes I don't. Like, no. I finesse down Western Road. Like, next. Might go down to G.O.D. Yeah, wait. I go hard on Southside G. Yeah, wait. I make sure that Northside eat. And still, bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. Yeah. Hey, hey. She say, do you love me? I tell her only partly. I only love my bed and my mom. I'm sorry. 50 dub, I even got it tatted on me. 81, they'll bring the crashers to the party. And you know me. Turn the 02 into the 03, dog. Without 40 Ollie, there be no me. Imagine if I never met the broskies. God's plan, God's plan. I can't do this on my own, hey, nope, hey. Someone watching it close, yeah, close. I've been me since Scarlet Road, hey, road, hey. Might go down as G.O.D., yeah, wait. I go hard on Southside G, hey, wait. I make sure that Northside eat, yeah. And still, bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wishing and wishing and wishing and wishing they wishing on me. Yeah. Yeah. Bad things. It's a lot of bad things that they wish and they wish and they wish and they wish and they wishing on me. Yeah.
When you're under the influence of marijuana and you choose to get behind the wheel, you know it's wrong. So if you don't listen to your instincts, think about your fellow passengers. Or think about the other people on the road. Even the unexpected ones. And if you don't think about them,
you'll answer to us. Drive baked, get busted.
And we're back. You into to the Wake and Bake Show. I had to stay my ass off of Facebook for real because I find myself. I'm sorry, like I said, I'm a patient before I'm anything else, And I get caught up with responding to some stupid shit on Facebook. But somebody has to do it, and I guess it's me. So, this is the story I meant to give y'all yesterday, but I thought it'd be, perfect timing for today. Because like I said, we got some dumb people doing some dumb stuff out here. Okay, this comes from the New York Post. New York officer busted for selling marijuana in Brooklyn. Yeah. His career in law enforcement may be taking a hit. A cop was busted allegedly selling marijuana inside a Brooklyn liquor store that sources said he co-owns. Guillermo Mercedes was arrested in the neighborhood liquor store on Knickerbocker and Putnam in Brunswick at 5:25 p.m. on Friday for allegedly selling a 25 Ziploc bag of marijuana, according to police. Mercedes, 42, also accused of endangering the welfare of a child for allegedly selling a bottle of vodka to an informer who was under the age of 21. Yikes! Mercedes, who's stationed at the Bronx, have been with the NYPD for 14 years. Cops say he made over than $85,000 a year, as shown on record. He is currently suspended without pay. Mercedes' family and friends were stunned by the allegations, insisting he never sold drugs. It's shocking. His father, Cruz Mercedes, told the Post through a Spanish translator. The 66-year-old dad, who lives down a block from the liquor store, said his son divorced and was a divorced war veteran with 3 kids and lives in the Bronx. The official lawyer, Patrick Barney, insisted that Guerrero's arraignment that his client does not own or even work at the liquor store. Interesting. Truck continues. Mercedes has been charged with criminal sale and possession of marijuana, weapon possession, and unlawful dealing with a child for illicit booze to sell to a 19-year-old. Brackley said the gun was not his weapon and he did not know of the present. Bail was set at $10,000. Brackley said he had hoped the client would be able to post it before court showed it that night. Police said the Internal Affairs is investigating. A man that's behind the counter of the liquor store insisted the charges were bogus. He called the allegation 100% false. He's a good guy. Come on, and visibly upset employee. Cruz said he had smoking to his son since the arrest. Nothing bad is going to happen for him, the officer insists. He's not guilty. They have to let him go free. He wouldn't do such a thing. He's a calm kid and everyone in the block likes getting along with him. He's a good kid. State law allows the police officer to work up to 20 hours a week on another job, as long as it does not conflict with city or department rules. Okay. Now, with that being said, do they have pictures of this man selling illicit cannabis or alcohol? If you've been on the police force for 14 years, I have to question this one a little bit. This guy's been on the police force for 14 years. I'm not saying he did or didn't, but there's got to be some questions coming in play. You got 3 kids. You made $85,000 a year is definitely not a lot in Brooklyn. The cost of living, let me tell you something. Y'all crying around here in South Carolina. Go to Brooklyn and try to live it. Your apartment is more than your car payment and your rent combined. And that's for rent for maybe a 3-bedroom house. Maybe. They ain't starting no less than a couple of stacks. I'm telling you right now. So $85,000 a year in Brooklyn is not that much money. So before you say, oh, he was making $85,000, that's not a lot. So 14 years as a cop. Everybody likes him, so his dad says. We're going to follow this one closely and see what happens, because it just baffles me that a cop that's been on the force for 14 years will sell alcohol to a minor. I mean, that's just something you got to think about it. Think about it for a second. I don't know too many people with 14 years on any type of job would take that kind of chance. I'm just saying. I'm not, you're innocent until proven guilty. So let's hope he comes out okay. If not, hey dog, You shouldn't have did that, and they gonna throw the book at you if that's true. Okay, we're gonna leave the islands we're gonna leave the states, and we're going to the islands. The Virgin Islands Consortium, excuse me. Okay, as soon as I can get this ad. Okay, there we go. After returning to the territory meetings for cruise industries other than Governor Albert Bonnie signing into law Saturday several bills, to include one to legalize medical marijuana in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Mr. Bryan signed in the Virgin Marijuana Medical Cannabis Patient Care Act, which allows medicinal use and regulation of cannabis and the regulation of medical cannabis provision centers throughout the territory. The new law does not authorize recreational use of marijuana. I have approved the Virgin Islands Medical Cannabis Act because it is a step in the right direction towards assisting Virgin Islands suffering from immune and other debilitating conditions. Mr. Bryan said this legislation also gives effort to the Virgin Island community wide referendum that was held in 2014 that approved the introduction of the medical use and sale of cannabis products by the majority of the voters. Congratulations, the Virgin Islands. Y'all got it right. I hope y'all play this in these restrictions as ours. Now, this is the one that got me yesterday. This story is from High Times. If those who haven't read High Times, you definitely want to check this article. Cop got caught with child porn. He only serves 90 days in jail. Man selling weed gets a 5-year sentence. No, you didn't hear wrong. Cop got caught with child porn. He only serves 90 days in jail. Man selling weed gets a 5-year sentence. How is this possible that distributing child pornography carries less than distributing cannabis? A former Ohio police officer will serve just 90 days in jail for child pornography. Wait a minute. He might not even serve those 90 days. Depending on how the system is set up there, he might serve half of that, ladies and gentlemen. But I'm just going to continue from there. Charges while Louisiana man will serve 5 years for conspiracy to distribute marijuana, according to a report from the Free Thought Project. Last week, a former Columbus, Ohio police sergeant Daniel Worthington was sentenced to 9 years in prison after pleading guilty to 4 child pornography charges, but the judge suspended all but 90 days of his sentence to be served in the Franklin County Jail because of Worthington's history as a police officer. Worthington will also be required to pay a $5,000 fine and register as a sex offender. Franklin County prosecutor Ron O'Brien said in a press release that Worthington had uploaded sexually explicit photographs of children to the website Tumblr. After the social media platform notified authorities, a search warrant was issued and authorities found 6 cell phones and other electronic devices that contained the pornographic images. The Columbus police sergeant was downloading child pornography to his personal cell phone. O'Brien said this is illegal behavior discovered as a result of a tip Tumblr provided law enforcement after Worthington uploaded the image of the child pornography. Between January and July of 2018, it was alleged that Worthington uploaded an image to Tumblr and downloaded multiple videos and images depicting young children engaging in sexual activity with adults, O'Brien added. Kathy Lee Harper, the executive director of the Ohio Crime Victim Justice Center, said the sentence was too lenient. When offenders are only sentenced to 90 days in prison, it sends a horrible message to crime victims. It sends a disturbing message to offenders. It did not undermines the serious nature of the crime and allows this industry to flourish. Child pornography is a horrible crime that involves the production and distribution and consumption of the images, Lee added. The children are sexually abused in order to promote images. The images are distributed and redistributed to countless other identifying causes of victimize the long-term and emotional trauma. Just magnifying each time this material is circulated or downloaded. It's time to take crime charges against women and children, especially child sexual abuse victims. 5 years for pot. Now check this out. 5 years for pot. Meanwhile, last month, Jabari Huntsberry, now catch the name, Jabari Huntsberry was 63 months in prison for marijuana distribution and other charges. Huntsberry has been convicted for mailing a package of marijuana from California to his neighborhood house in Avalon, Louisiana in 2014. Postal inspectors believe that he has been shipping cannabis from California to Louisiana using different names and addresses. To be determined that $300,000 have been transferred to Huntsberry's source of marijuana in California. Authorities initiated a controlled delivery one of the packages and arrested Huntsberry after the package was accepted. U.S. Postal Service mail labels Ronnie Bride transfer receipts for 2 firearms, and handwritten records of pot transfers was discovered during Huntsberry's home. Huntsberry was convicted in federal court on 1 count of conspiracy to possess with intent to distribute marijuana, and 1 count of unlawful use with a communicating facility, 1 count of possession with intent to distribute marijuana, and 1 count of possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. He's also required to serve 2 years parole after his release. Now, they had a picture of the gentleman that was arrested, the cop. Remember I told you the name Javari. You know the name is African American. So, I'm just going to leave it at that. And that's going to be the last talk of the day. People, if we don't stop playing around with these officials and each one of our sectors which we live in, you know, for whatever reason, and it's just beyond me that people can play with people's lives, and y'all seriously need to stop playing. And this is the last talk of the day. It's sad that you can go out there and abuse a child and get a slap on the wrist. But if you look like me and get caught with cannabis, they throw your ass away and they throw away the damn key. So all I'm going to say is this. Shame on you. Shame on you, sir, for abusing children and putting porn on your phone and being a cop. I hope your ass stay in solitary confinement the whole time you're there, because you don't deserve to walk around free doing that such disgusting thing to children. And those people that think it was fair to lock up somebody for cannabis, they have a special place in hell for you too. But that's my last talk of the day on this. Now, to all my veterans friends out there, I got some news for you when we come back, because I got to take a break on this. I really do. You're in tune to the Wake and Bake Show.
Bless up the righteous seed. I drink no words, remember that you are your kings and queens. Listen to your heart and always follow your dreams. Always remember to stay positive. Yeah. Bless up the righteous seed. I drink no words, remember that you are your kings and queens. Listen to your heart and always follow your dreams. Always remember to stay positive. Yeah. Yo, I'm cold chillin', man, intergalactic, man.
How you feeling, Alcyon?
Man, thanks for asking. Fantastic, straight up amazing, highly unusual, beautiful vibrations. Transmissions beaming back and forth eternally. Cause Alcyon, I came to burn away the 33rd degree absurdities. Don't get it twisted, cause there are 2 sides, dark and light, in this crazy life we live in. So I try to keep it fixed on the positive. I used to get shrilly, now I'm chilling with the Rasta kids. Replace my 40 with the clean canteen. Replace the cigarettes with a fat spliff of green. Nah, I mean, I'm doing my best to live the dream. I cultivate the body, keep it natural and clean. Like a stream, I'm flowing from the source. I listen as the lion roars. Bless up the righteous seed. I drink no words, remember that you are your kings and queens. Listen to your heart and always follow your dreams. Always remember to stay positive. Yeah. Bless up the righteous seed. I drink no words, remember that you are your kings and queens. Listen to your heart and always follow your dreams. Always remember to stay positive. Yeah. Cause I'm the Kabbalistic, alchemistic, dreadlock Palladian, star surfer, earthling, proverbial Arcadian, time traveling, elf babbling, seeker of the unknown.
history as the dragon eats its tail. As the cycle closes in, yes, the noosphere prevails. Children live organically, the birds get back the canopies. No longer are we ruled by an oil-based insanity. Cars go electric, people riding bikes more. This could be our future, man. Tell me what you're fighting for. It's up to us and ain't ever gonna change. Stop depending on the suits, it's up to you to rearrange your priorities. What's your position? Are you satisfied with the quality of life you live in? Are you in heaven, man, or are you in prison? Man, y'all don't even know the half of what you're missing in the vision. Bless up the righteous, sing. I can always remember that you are your kings and queens. Listen to your heart and always follow your dreams. Always remember to stay positive. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bless up the righteous, sing. I can always remember that you are your kings and queens. Listen to your heart and always follow your dreams. Always remember to stay positive. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bless up the righteous, sing. I can always remember that you are your kings and queens. Listen to your heart and always follow your dreams. Always remember to stay positive. Yeah, 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 yeah. Bless up the righteous, sing. I can always remember that you are your kings and queens. Listen to your heart and always follow your dreams. Always remember to stay positive. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Na 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 na, whoa, na 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 na, whoa, yaga 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 yo yo yo, yaga 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 yo 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 yo, na 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 na. Yeah, man, big up all the kings and queens, princes and princesses, yes, all the lions and lionesses, all the young cubs out there. Big up the youth, educating themselves, making a bigger, better world for tomorrow. Blessed love.
And we're back. I told you I got something for the veterans out there. The first Senate Majority Marijuana Bill of 2019 will enforce study on medical cannabis for veterans. This is shared by the marijuanamovement.net. The first Senate Majority Bill of the new Congress focuses on increasing research on medical benefits of cannabis for military veterans. The legislature introduced by Senators John Tester and Dan Sullivan on Thursday will the District Department of Veterans Affairs VA to construct clinical trials on the effectiveness of medical marijuana in treatment of conditions commonly along among military veterans. While new bill has the same proposal as bipartisan dual filed in the last Congress, which language is not yet online but obtained by the marijuana movement, much more forcibly directs the VA to begin researching medical cannabis in the earlier legislation year. Whereas last year's version simply said that the department may conduct and support research relating to the efficiency and safety forms of cannabis, nothing concurrent to federal law actually prevents them from doing so. The latest version stipulates that the VA will begin reluctantly engaging to marijuana studies and shall be conducting clinical trials on cannabis. The VA needs to listen to the growing numbers of veterans who've already found success in medical cannabis and easing their pain and symptoms. Testers, making member of the Senate Veterans Affairs Committee, said in a press conference, our bill will make sure the VA takes the proactive step to explore medical cannabis in a safe and effective alternative to opioids for veterans suffering with those injuries or illness received in the line of duty. The proposed double-blind and memorized controlled clinical trials are meant to cover the potential therapeutic application for marijuana for post-traumatic stress disorder and chronic pain. The particular, the department would have to study areas such as medical marijuana effects on opioid, bazotine, and alcohol consumption, as well as inflammation, sleep quality, spasticity, irritation, and quality of life, mood, anxiety, social function, suicide ideation, and frequent nightmares or night terrors. Marijuana reform advocates praised the new legislation in forced language compared to the previous bill. The more assertive language is greatly improved to this common sense research bill that will ultimately help veterans with debilitating conditions. Michael Lassesi, principal of the AFAC Group, a lobbying conservative firm that focuses on cannabis issues, told Marijuana Movement. The Department of Veterans Affairs already had the credentials to conduct the survey, and the previous language was led the department to continue to drag its heels. It's sort of like the difference between a patient telling the child, you make sure you clean up your room, versus you will clean up your room now. Sullivan said he had heard from many veterans constitutes an interest in finding an alternative to pain prescription painkillers for the pain. Many of our nation's veterans already use medical cannabis, and they deserve to have full knowledge of the potential benefits and side effects to this alternative therapy, said in a press release. During the last congressional Senate version legislation garnered 6 co-sponsors, while 55% ultimately signed onto the House version. The bill became the first standalone piece of marijuana legislation to clear the congressional panel, where the White House Veterans Affairs Committee reported in last May. Nevertheless, the VA leadership remained reluctant about engaging marijuana research. Now, with that being said, and I'm a veteran, you damn right I'm going to help fight for this, and I'm going to write them 2 legislators for thinking about us. And I strongly recommend that you pull this story up, write those people and tell them thank you, because this is a huge step. Because if you're using cannabis and you tell your VA physicians you're labeled as an addict, that's correct. They label you as an addict because you're trying to be well and you don't want to take 22 pills. Food for thought, ain't it? Because you're trying to help yourself, they gonna label you. This is not something somebody's told me. This is something I know for myself. Because once again, I am a veteran as well. And I do suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder. So, yeah. That's food for thought for you. But I got one question for you. Are you awake yet? If not, tune in tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we do it all over again. I thank you for tuning in. I thank iHeartRadio for having us on the air. I do appreciate that. And that's my time, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, support people that support you. We got this congressional thing getting kicked up for the presidency of the United States. We are in 31 days into a shutdown of the government. We have people, as we speak, working for no pay. Last time I was told that was slavery. So what has the White House become? One big ass plantation? That's not cool, Washington. That's not cool, House and Congress. That's not cool. And to the TSA workers that's getting it done out there, when y'all have enough, take off your gloves, lay that badge down, and walk away. I'm going to tell you the truth. Not one person to be mad. I damn sure won't. I applaud you. Because if the TSA workers would shut this shit down, trust me, somebody hurry up and get this legislation done, because without the TSA workers, ain't no flights getting done. A lot of people ain't going to be able to go nowhere, but you know what? It's over 800,000 people right now that's not getting paid. So this is just my insight on a fucked up situation. So peace and love, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. I'm out of here.
Needs to get himself some raw papers.
They're hard to learn with because they're slippery.
They are slippery.
Compared to like blue ones and shit.
They are slippery, but once you get that,
take a breath. Been trying to ignore it lately. Sometimes life can drive me crazy. I stay with my vision hazy. Please don't ask me why. down about something, worried about all the wrong things I can't justify. Why don't we roll up another? I got a lot on my mind. Tonight, get high and discover. That's why you gotta puff, puff, pass, relax a little bit, take a breath and exhale. Just puff, puff, pass, 'cause once you get a hit, you won't really care about whether you're rich or if you're broke. Watch your worries go up in smoke and just puff, puff, pass, relax a little bit, take a breath and exhale. Get a bit cross-faded, don't know what the vibe is later, but I brought the rolling papers if you want to get high. I'm over stressing out, so don't wait, the time is now. Gotta get up to get down, so if that's what you like, why don't we roll up another? I got a lot on my mind. Tonight, get high and discover. That's why you gotta puff, puff, pass, relax a little bit, take a breath and exhale. Just puff, puff, pass, 'cause once you get a hit, you won't really care about whether you're rich or if you're broke. Watch your worries go up in smoke and just puff, puff, pass, relax a little bit, take a breath and exhale.
A little bit, take a breath and exhale. Just puff, puff, pass, 'cause once you get a hit, you won't really care about whether you're rich or if you're broke. Watch your worries go up in smoke and just puff, puff, pass, relax a little bit. Take a breath, take a breath.
That's why you gotta puff, puff, pass, relax a little bit, take a breath and exhale. Just puff, puff, pass, 'cause once you get a hit, you won't really care about whether you're rich or if you're broke. Watch your worries go up in smoke and just puff, puff, pass, relax a little bit, take a breath and exhale.
They said it wasn't a gateway drug. My homie was taking subs and he ain't wake up the whole while. These billionaires, they caked up, paying up Congress so we take their drugs. Murderers who will never face the judge. And we dancing to a song about a face gone numb. But I seen homies turn gray, noses draining blood. I could have been gone, our 30s faded in that tub. That's Prince, Michael and Whitney, that's Amy, Ledger and Pimp C, that's Yams, that's DJ AM. Goddamn, they're making the killing. Now it's getting attention cause Sarah, Katie and Billy. But this shit's been going on from Seattle out to South Philly. It just moved about the city and it spread out to the burbs. Now it's everybody's problem, got a nation on the verge. Take activists off the market, jack the price up on the syrup. But Purdue Pharma's about to move that work.
My drug dealer was a doctor. Had the plug from Big Pharma. He said that he would heal me. But he only gave me problems. My drug dealer was a doctor. Had the plug from Big Pharma. I think he trying to kill me. He tried to kill me for $1.